I can do Bluetooth.
You may be entitled to significant compensation for nearly 34
It's fully functional too. You know, you got touchscreen down here. Of course, it's not fast as today's touchscreen, but this is like OEM, so I like it. Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In the background, I do got a backpack blower blowing over there, but you should still hear me fine. Today, I'm going to attempt to install the Chevy Mylink radio. I got the faceplate in the house, but this is the hardware that comes with it. And this is the radio, and it should come with a faceplate, which I do have, and here's the directions right here for the Mylink system. And I will have some door lock switches to go with it as well. I'm gonna put them in the doors because when you change out your other radio, you'll lose the door lock switch functionality. But you can get it back if you get the door lock switches in the doors, or you can put it somewhere in the vehicle of your liking. I'm not gonna talk too much. I'm more of a doer instead of a speaker, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing first, this silver piece right here, I'm gonna lift up on that using the pry tool. Oh, get this camera back. I probably can just get my finger and pry this up right here. Yeah. Put up the parking brake, work around it. Try to get some more tabs loose. Be gentle with it. Try not to break any tabs. Okay. So how this works is you pull up on this end, you pull out like it's a slot. Pull out some more. Here it comes. Then you got, let's see, the cigarette lighter. Well, since I got the gauges, it's a tab right here. Push it in and pull out just like that. But a cigarette lighter, not gonna lie to you, not sure about this one. I know it's away. Let me see if I can just get away with just pulling it out this way. Oh, there's another tab right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. I know the shifter is in the way. There's another tab in the back. See if I push down on that and pull out. There's that one. The only thing that's attached now is the cigarette lighter, which there was a blue wire attached to it. I must have broke something. That's not good. Yeah, I broke something on the cigarette lighter. That's not good. I'll figure that out later. That's my problem now. Next, you got two of these 7mm down here, one right here and one on that side. I'm gonna loosen that up. Once you get that out, now you can pry this radio faceplate, which I'm gonna try this side since it has a gap right there already. Here it comes. These are held in by tabs, by the way. You want to pull down. And I'm going to support the bottom of it. See if I can get it come straight out. And then at the bottom, let's see, probably got to push up a little bit at the bottom. Try to get it over that plastic trim. This is probably the hardest part of the removal for me. To prevent me from breaking something, I might have to take this off too. Oh, okay, there it go. Guess I didn't apply enough force. So that was unnecessary, I didn't have to do that. Here's the back. There's a tab up front right here. Just press down and pull out. Don't pull on the wires. Well, I guess you can pull on the wire. And this is the faceplate right here. It's the back of it. Put this in the back seat. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm confused what this blue wire is for. Cause I'm looking at the cigarette lighter and it has power, which is the red wire, and it has ground, which is the black wire, and they're both coming from that wiring harness. And I didn't feel no resistance pulling this blue wire out either. I didn't feel no type of resistance. So it's not like I yanked it out, but it was tucked up underneath there. I don't know if the previous owner was wiring up something and he just said, forget about it, or is this really something that was factory? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. All right, y'all, so this is what we got next. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 millimeters. So just take those out. Then it should just pull out. Pull out. So let me show y'all the tab that's in the back. So you got this. This tab, just pull up. So this center part right here, you want to push that in and then pull up. That's why I don't like to force anything, because you might break something. Then you got this black wire right here. It's a tab right here on the top. Push that tab in and pull out. Same for this golden one right here. Tab on the top, push in and pull out. And I'm doing this with one hand, so it shouldn't be that hard. And that's the whole radio right there, out. Now I'm gonna look at the Gen 5 directions and see what they're talking about. I know on the front of the directions it says something. Let me go get it. I'm gonna show y'all. Let me put the radio in the back seat. If you get the other radio and the directions if it didn't blow away. So here's the directions right here. Please disregard the antenna splitter installation. It said that they found a better way or easier way to do it. They said they simplified the install by using a standalone antenna. Simply plug the under dash mount antenna into the blue antenna port on the radio, which I did see, and mount the antenna as close to the windshield under the dash as you can. Which I don't know what they mean by that. Mount it underneath the dash is possible, so I'm more of a visual learner than, just reading the directions. Especially when they say stick it underneath the dash. And I'm like, well, where you want to route the wires at? Do you want to have it coming underneath here, which that won't be possible, and stick it further? I guess they mean in this compartment right here. That's the only way. Unless they want you to stick it down up in here or something, which that's more reasonable. I'm not sure. But if we have problems with the antenna, and I can always contact Gen 5 DIY. They're pretty responsive. What's confusing me is that they got this white wire in here. You see that prong right there? Then I saw somewhere where they got a T-tap as well. Oh, this right here. I'm not sure where they want these prongs to stick in at. Let me get the directions. Okay, on the directions it says unplug the PDIM module, which is located in the center console. And it's right down up in here, so I have to take this side pin off, and the same thing on the passenger side. I'm gonna have to lift this up somehow. So it's fairly easy, so I'll get back with y'all when I do that. All right, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. This next step was kind of tedious. So to get the side panels off, you take the side panel off on both sides, come to the rear. Come to the rear. You got Phillip head, same thing for the other side, and then you got Phillip head, and Phillip head. So you take that cover off, which is where that cover at. Is this cover right here that comes off. It sits back here like that. Once you take that cover off, then you unplug this wire right here. Then you unplug this wire right here. And this one right here, which I got me a small flathead, and I pry it off that tab. This gave me the most problems because I didn't know how to take it off. So what you want to do is you get a flathead and you press down that tab right there, and that should come out. And then same thing at the bottom, which I did not know it was one at the bottom, which gave me so much troubles.
But since I pushed that tab down, it came out easily. Excuse me, it came out easily. So then after you do that, lift this armrest up, lift it up out of that groove right there. Then it should lift up. And that's with taking this off and taking off the cigarette lighter, which is right here. Pries out with the pry tool. I just pried this one out with the pry tool. It didn't have no tabs on the back. You need those two things off before you can even pull up the center console. Oh, it turns out I did have to take all the screws out for the shifter boot. I think it's 5 of them, I believe. Then it should come up easily. Without lifting all the way up, your body, not your body, your PDIM module will be right there, which is this right here, the Bluetooth symbol on it. So when you find it, it'll be down like this. And you got two wire connectors on the side. Well, not the side, but at the bottom actually, if you're looking at it. Just press the tab on top. This one was easier. You press the tab on top, it comes out, and this one has that same metal tab like this one right here. Which if I show you, trying to do this with one hand, y'all. This one right here, and the easy connectors right here. They claim you don't have to take it out, but I took mine out anyway, just to show y'all what it looked like. I'm really not sure why to disconnect that. I guess it's for so you won't mess up something when you connect something together. Really not sure. Maybe it'll tell me to put it back together. I'm not sure. But I guess I'll move on to the next step. Let me read the directions. Okay, so I looked online to see if I can find this video that the directions talking about. It said that the bare wire or black tapered wire that was mentioned in the video is replaced with a yellow wire. So I'm like, well, it must be an installation video. Turns out I couldn't find out a single one. Not from Gen 5 DIY, not from anybody. So it looked like I'm stuck by myself trying to figure this out. But the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna install this USB. I don't think that bracket supposed to be like that. I'll bend it back when the time comes, but this USB right here on the back of the radio, this USB right here, supposed to plug that in. I'm gonna use the small end instead of the fat end because the small end tends to fit in there a lot nicer than the bigger one. So I'm gonna show you that after I do that. So I plugged in the main harness so the radio can get power. I just want to test that USB, but I plugged this in to the radio so it can have power, and so I can test that USB. And I plug this into my USB port. I put it back. Plug it into that USB port. Plugged on my phone, and it works with the key on the on position. Probably with the key with the off position too, but it does work. So I'm gonna install the rest of it. I'll come back to y'all. So the next thing y'all want to do is come to y'all glove box. So what you want to do is open your glove box like normal. Then on the side of the glove box, you want to push in this way and do the same thing on the other side at the same time. Push in and pull down. Look, you can see my markings right there. Supposed to push in and pull down, and the glove box will slide down, and it'll be on these little grooves right here. You just unhook them, just lift up a little bit and pull out. And that's how you get to this part. Now, see this panel up here? There, 1, 2, 3 in the front. Those are T15s, and you got another one right there and another one right there. And I have one missing. It looks like somebody been in here before, but you take that out and we get to the next step. So once you take them 5 screws out, see these tabs right here? You just pull down on the back tabs, then slide it back, and it should come out. Now, this is the OnStar module. Now I'm doing this for OnStar on the Chevy Mylink. We're gonna be messing with them white connectors back there. Yeah, one of those, we're gonna be messing with one of those. You want to take this module out of its holster. I'll be back and tell y'all how I did it. Can't do this with one hand. All right, y'all, so I'm back. think I figured it out. So what I try to do is I try to lift this up, and the other side behind I try to lift up them 2 tabs by pushing this up. And it wasn't coming out very easy, so I snapped it back in place, and I actually looked around. You're supposed to push that tab up, and the motor starts sliding forward. And this is why I say don't force anything, because I could have broke something when I could have did something that was so simple. Once you do that, the wire's not gonna let you slide it all the way out, so you want to go back there and release them. I don't know where the release tabs are located on this. I gotta get on my back. I'm gonna flip y'all around to my point of view. Okay, so the tab is on the top side. Push down the tab on the top side. Oh, push down the tab on the top side. Then you got this red plug right here. Like, you just push down on that tab right here and pulls out. But I'll get back with y'all once I do that. I got the module out. This is what it looks like. We're just gonna put this aside for now, and we're gonna work on putting them 3 wires on that new connector. So let me read the directions, and I'll tell y'all what I'm gonna do. Now, you see that little plastic? Oh, can't you stick my finger? Can't you stick my finger in there? Oh, yes, I can. See this part right here? You can like push the tabs in. I don't have to do that, but see if you can push it out. Anyway, if you push that out, you will have like, you can pull these wires up closer to where you can work on them. I'm gonna see, I'm gonna get some pliers and probably clamp it in a little bit and then push it out. All right, so instead of using pliers, I'm just gonna use this T15. I figured out that, what is it? All you gotta do is push on it and it'll come out. See, it went in some more. There you go. Then you pull the wire out some more. Then you can pull it down like this. Oh, y'all probably didn't even see it. I had to work it around. I had to work it around. It was like this. It was on top like that. I had to take it out that groove and then work it around. Push the wire in a little bit. Came out with it, and now it's down right here. Yeah, you can work on it from right here. So we're gonna be working with the 12 prong connector, and I'm gonna get back with y'all. I'm gonna read the directions, which is right here, and I'm gonna show y'all what to do. All right, when you're skimming through these directions, don't get confused, because this is not a 12 pin. That's actually something different. It's something more. See. But if you read right here, it says, picture below is the opposite of on-start connection. It's just shown to illustrate how to remove the lock, which that is really crappy to me. I really don't understand what it's doing, but I had to go online. Somebody had some type of directions on there. It looks like they got a small flathead like this and pried open. Wrong one. And they pried open the back of this right here. Y'all probably can see it better now, but they pried open this this rectangle piece right here. It's some tabs. Oh no, I can see it. One right here, one right there. Pull that tab back, and I guess that's how you unlock it. I guess I'm not sure what's behind there, but I'm about to find out. I got it disconnected, so it wasn't what I said. Actually, take your flathead, and you're supposed to try to pry it out where the tabs are. You're not trying to pry out the tabs, you're trying to pry out if this thing will focus. GoPro camera. You see the openings right there on the sides? You want to try to stick your flathead inside of there and just pry up a little bit. Now I will say, get the smallest flathead you can find, like this right here. The smallest one you can find, because the plastic will flex a little bit, and it's permanent too. It seemed like I was breaking the connector, but that's really how it's made. That's the only way how it will come up. But that's how you unlock the pins. Now we gotta figure out what wires goes to what slot. Go here. It says the green wire go in pin 5, the red wire go in pin 6, and then the black wire goes in pin 12. So what that means is pin 5, pin 6, and pin 12 has no wires going to it at the time until you put the wires in there. I think it counts from left to right. Let me check again, I could be wrong. This counts from left to right. This counts from left to right. Which this not it, of course. They didn't give a diagram to what it looks like for the OnStar. See, this is 18. That's not the right one. But this is the 12 prong. And all these reading from left to right, so it only makes sense that this one's reading from left to right as well. So you push, where's that wiring harness? To be honest with you, it's on the driver's side. If you get this wiring harness, this is for your backup camera. If you're not installing a backup camera, don't worry about it. If you are, you can route it from the unit. You can go down and go, let me go to the driver's side. It's a little off topic. But you can go down and put it right here. And you know, you can route your backup camera. I'm actually gonna do this if Gen 5 contact me back about the problem I'm having. You can go down up in here, go on underneath the carpet. You can come out right here and your connection can be like right here and your ground and stuff. That's gonna be in another video though. I just wanted to show y'all. If you don't have the backup camera, don't worry about it. But if you want to install one, you can have that right there, just ready. So on this wiring harness, you got this, the yellow, red, green, black. That's for something else we're gonna do later down. We're gonna focus on these, green, red, and black. Before you connect these, it'll be best if you route the wiring harness through the back of the radio and down over here. It only makes sense to do that. So let me do that right quick. Okay, so I'm looking back online of what I was reading, and this connector is reading from left to right of that 12 prong connector. I guess you insert it like this right here. And this is on Camera Focus, called manualslib.com. This is what it's called, Chevy Mylink Installation Instruction Manuals, page 19. I'm on page 19. All right, y'all, so let me show you how I routed this. It's real easy, real simple. This is the gray cable right here. Push it all the way in the back where this square piece looking thing is. This empty square hole. Feed it through there, and it comes out right back there. It comes out right there. That's what that square hole is. Let me put my finger in it so you know what I'm talking about. It's the square hole right here. See? And you just feed it right back here and you catch it with your other fingers. Then you route it above this bracket right here, this metal bracket. Route it above. That way there'll be less rubbing as possible. Then if you actually think about it, the wire will be right here. When that connector's in place with that module, the wires will be just right here, right up here. That's what the wire's gonna be at. So, what I showed y'all earlier, it is reading from left to right. Looking at it with the tab up, if I actually look inside the connector, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4 is occupied, right? Then at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4 is occupied. Okay? The only empty slots is 5, 6, 11, and 12. The ones we're gonna be using is 5, 6, and 12 only. 11 gonna stay empty. So you'll come to the back, and on the top is 5, 6. Number 5 is close to that yellow wire. Number 6 is close to the end. And at the bottom, number 12 is close to the end. That's how you're gonna mount it. That's how you're gonna put it in there. You're gonna push the pins inside there. If you don't believe me, here it is right here. 5, 6, and 12. Number 5, the one's gonna be close to that yellow wire. Put the green wire in there. Then right next to the green wire that you just installed, you put the red wire in there. And number 6. And number 12 is the black wire, which is the one that's gonna be at the end. Right there at the very end, at the bottom, that's 12. 5 is right next to the yellow wire, and 6 right there on the end. That's how you're gonna do that. And once you do that, make sure you push this lock back down. And try not to pull any wires out of the tabs, because they are loose. They can come out since you unlocked it. And I'm gonna get back to y'all once I push the pins in tell y'all what was hard, tell you if it was hard or not. All right, so when y'all get started, you see how the prong hole is like more to the bottom of the prong, and then like the top is more like of the metal part. So the hole is closer to the bottom. That's how you want to stick it in. When you're looking at the back of the prong, you want the hole to be more of the bottom of the prong, not the side, not the top. It should be at the bottom, straight up and down like this. GoPro camera can't focus like that, but you want the prong to go in just like this. I came to that conclusion just by looking inside the prongs, and that seems like the correct way. But I'll let y'all know. All right, guys. So I got the green and red in. I just want to point something out. Remember this flathead we use? Well, I recommend you pushing the pin down with the flathead. The hole is big enough to where you can get it down up in there, as you can see. Sorry if it can't focus, but this is big enough for it to fit down up in there, and it's gonna click in place. I was trying to push it down with the wires, and I was lucky with the green wire, but the red wire not so much. It kept kinking up on me. Eventually I pulled it out, and I decided to push it down with this flathead, and that actually clicked it in place right away. Just to give y'all an idea of what I was talking about, I got the black pin in just like this. Then you take your flathead, and you see this room right here. You can just push it down up in there. Of course, you got to hold the other side, and then you'll hear a clicking sound, and that's how you know it's in place. And then lock all the wires back in place by pushing in that tab we pried open earlier. All right, y'all, so I got it in place. I pushed the locking tab back in place. It snapped in. Everything look like it's good to go. I don't think there's nothing else to do to this module. We're done down here. The video split. Let me explain what that is. That is for when you put the car in reverse. If you got the backup camera option and you got the option for the video split, there was some type of module down here or something, but I didn't get that. I got the review mirror camera. I can go look at that video if y'all want to. It's actually right here. It's pretty cool. We're done with the module, so we're gonna put the connections back together and we're gonna move on to the next step. So I got the connector back in, and I just put this trim piece back on. I put the screws back in that I had, and with the excess wire from this harness right here, I just like push it up, let the excess go up so you can't see it down here. It's actually up there somewhere. And I made sure that the tab will not pinch the wires either. I actually got it above where the tab's supposed to push in at. And I'm gonna move on to either the T-tap or I'm gonna move on to these right here. Shouldn't be hard. Since I did that, this shouldn't be hard. So putting the glove box back in is reverse step. You see this, see that right there? Same for the other side. That's what the glove box pivots on. See, it's like a little hook. Hook it onto that. Squeeze the both sides in and push it up, and it should go back in place. And these scrapes right here, I don't think I did that. I think somebody else did that, because when I looked up here, I see one of my screws was missing that I was supposed to have. So that means that somebody been in here already. And I know I'm careful with my stuff, so that couldn't happen for me. All right, so just like the on-start connection, we're gonna be working with the screen connector, which is this connector right here. They come out this little bottom slot. Red is gonna go into the 5 slot, black is going to the 6 slot, yellow is going to the 7 slot, and green going to the 14 slot. And instead of reading from left to right, we're gonna be reading right to left. Let me show y'all. See, 1, 9, 10, 18. That's how we're gonna be doing it. I was having troubles figuring out how to unlock this pin, how to unlock this connector. It's different from the other ones. Started looking at it, started feeling with it a little bit, and it's actually this right here. Put that flat screwdriver in between that, and it popped right up in that little groove right here. It should come out, and that should unlock it, I believe. I'll let y'all know if I'm still having troubles with it, but I believe that's how you unlock it. If I don't say nothing else, then that was it right there. All right, y'all, so hear me out. It's like 2 weeks later, So when I went to install the pins inside the connector, I actually broke one of the pins and the wire came clean off. So I contacted Gen 5 and they sent me some more pins to repair the wire, which I did right now. So 2 weeks later, I'm jumping back into this install. But I found it easier to take the whole locking plate off. And that way you get a better view of how the pins sit inside the connector. Thought that would be really helpful to y'all. Instead of trying to guess, you can actually look at the pins and see how they got it in there, and then you put this in there accordingly. But what I recommend y'all doing is peel back some of this protection of the wires, so that way you will have more wiggle room trying to put these pins in this place. Because what happened to me is I bent it too much and it had stress on it, so that actually made it break off. Just a tip, I did have to drill a hole like right there. I might have to make it bigger. That's for your antenna. Now if you don't have an antenna, you probably just get by with drilling that hole, because it has to, the radio, in order for the radio to slide back there, you have to have this hole, or you can get a drummer and cut this whole piece out, which I did not want to do. I wanted to take off less material as possible. But you need to have a hole right there. So this part, which part is it? So this blue part, it can fit. That's the only thing that's making this radio not fit properly in there. You got to do that. And of course, if you got the antenna, the connector is always bigger than that prong sticking out. So I'm gonna have to get the drill bit again and probably wiggle around in there. Let me show y'all what I did, how I route the wires. This was already here. The black wire was already here. This blue piece, I stuck it down up in there, and it comes out right down here where this connector is for the faceplate, and here it is right here. And also for the connector from Gen 5 DLY, of course you know where I put the connector for the OnStar. Put it back through here, and I fed it down into the glove box. Well, same thing for the remaining wires, the one for the backup camera and the one for the faceplate. You want to feed them up in here and feed it down up in here. This for the faceplate, and for the backup camera, you feed it back there, and you come down. You see where that wire is? You come down like that, okay? And you put it right there. Now you don't have to put it right there, but I'm putting it right there because the company recommend putting it right there. So I didn't think it would be a bad idea to do it. It was a good idea. And the last wire that I routed was for the USB. Where's the USB cable? Now I'm not gonna lie to you. To me, the USB cable was a tight fit, because I did try to fit this radio in here, which I did. But that's another story. So I chose a smaller piece to go in the back of the radio. So I routed this, went down, came over here. Okay, the wire runs through here, come on the outside, right up in here. Then I got this right here. They had it taped off, but I had to take mine off because it came apart right there, and then it comes to the back. But I'm not gonna lie to you, that wire was very tight. It was very tight. They didn't give me enough wiggle room, to be honest with you. So every time you want to take this radio out, you really have to loosen this up and then try to feed some of the wire back through there so you can get the radio out. But when you feed it in there, you know, as the radio go in, you bring some of the cable out, you know. But that's really pretty much it as far as wiring wise, as far as routing the wires through. And I'll get back to y'all once I get done putting these in. I guess I can tell y'all which pin to put in what slot. Alright, so you're reading from right to left. Alright. 5 is red, 6 is black, 7 is yellow, 14 is green. And it's gonna be on this connector right here. So I'm about to install that and I'll come back to y'all. Okay, if you got Boston premium audio, you'll want to get that white wire that's by itself and T-tap this white wire right here from the main power adapter Where does it say it at? Right here. You want to tap into pin 43 on the radio connector, and you want it to tap into it, and it'll go down towards here for the screen connector. And you want to put it in. So you want to put that white wire to pin 18 at the end. So you're gonna tap into 43 with the T-tap they supplied, and you're gonna put it inside pin 18. So I'm gonna do that right quick, and I'm gonna show you. Oh yeah, and before you tap the wires, make sure you have the T-tap in on this side and route the other pin underneath, and then come out in between here, and you'll be set. Then you can install it. So I found a hiccup in this T-tap. So when I tried to put the T-tap on, okay, it went on successfully. Try to connect it with that connector right there, and that's when I was having problems. Then I looked inside, pretend like this is closed. This was like when it's closed. But when it was closed, I looked inside, and there's no way a prong can stick through there. There's no way a prong can stick through there. There's no way. And I have Oracle tail lights, and I dealt with T-taps before, and they're easy. You just tap them on the wire and you're good to go. But I think this block at the end is not supposed to be there, so I'm cutting it off, and I'm gonna put the T-tap on, and then I'll get back with y'all on that. Alright, so I made another modification. This GoPro don't focus as well, but on the side of the connector, like this side of the connector, okay, on each side I had to cut a strip so the ends can fit inside of the T-tap, because it was too wide. So I just cut some strands off with a razor blade. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, so it can fit up inside the T-tap. Now, when I first tried to fit this radio in here, the radio works, but the screen didn't work. And when I put these wires together, it was the same thing, but that was without me doing the T-tap. So I wonder if my screen will work if I plug it in. If not, then it's probably this green wire right here that I wired. I probably didn't crimp it hard enough. We'll see. All right, y'all. So I put the pin inside the pin. I put the pin inside slot 18 on the faceplate connector, and the screen actually works. So that's what gives it its power. I don't know if you don't have the Boston Premium Audio, I don't know if you get your power from something else. I don't know, but your screen will not work unless you got that standalone white wire, and that just relieved all my stress, because I wanted to see if the faceplate came on with just these 4 wires right here, which it didn't, and that really scared me. So I didn't think that if you got premium audio, you need that white wire for the screen to actually come on. What I'm about to put in is GPS antenna right here. On the directions, it tells you to plug it in the back of the radio and stick it far underneath the dash as you can towards the windshield. So I'm about to do that, and next time y'all see it, y'all see this Mylink installed. So I'll see y'all later. Okay, so I found out that there's no way of me getting around with just drilling a hole right here. I actually got to cut that section out. Let me see if the GoPro can get you that view, which you can, but it's not enough light. But you gotta actually cut this section out. You can't just use a drill bit. All right, guys. So the Mylink is working fully and functionally. When you first turn it on, there will be a slight delay. Let me see if I can simulate it. Hold on. Well, it's not doing it right now, but it's like almost like a 8-second delay when you first turn the key. Maybe shorter than that, but you'll see the little animation of the Mylink and everything else. That date is wrong, but it's fully functional. You know, I can do navigation, which I'm not gonna do that because then y'all gonna know my location, but I can do Bluetooth.
You may be entitled to significant compensation for nearly 34
It's fully functional too. You know, you got touch screen down here. Of course, it's not fast as today's touchscreen, but this is like OEM, so I like it. But yeah, I haven't seen this one. Oh, XM radio. But yeah, man, this is fully functional. And when y'all put this together, I mean, you can play around with it. If you got navigation and you did everything the right way, the navigation will work, because I did try it out. Turn it off. Navigation do work when you do try it out. But everything's working pretty good, so call that a success. I'll catch y'all later.